Hello, I'm Beth. Welcome to a weird angle because I left my tripod in the other room, which I kind of fixed it, but I don't know for how long. Sometimes when I turn the thingy on there to like tighten the phone so it stays in place, sometimes it just doesn't work, and I don't know why. I don't know what the dealio is. Honestly, I just didn't want to go grab it. It's like across the hall in the other room, which really isn't that far, but I've been cleaning in here and I'm trying to like reorganize my life, and that's included going through this closet. This closet being my closet. I've just had stuff in there that I've stored up over the years. It's doubled as a storage space now. I don't know. I have like old journals, old drawing books, sketchbooks, what have you. Even like art books that like how to draw, all this stuff. I have books like that. They're just all piled up in there, and I have like 4 crates, one of those long buckets, and I cannot tell you how many bags. Why did I store my books and stuff in like old backpacks? Because when I was in high school, I kind of collected backpacks, and of course I held on to all of them. They are kind of cool, not gonna lie, but anyways, I just stored stuff in them, so it's just so chaotic. So that's what I've been trying to do, and yeah, I just look over here right now, and I have like this mountain of crap right by my door. I'm like, I don't want to get up, I don't want to go to the other room, so I'm not going to. And today is a no makeup day. Last week I had the little tarot reading for you guys, and it was alright. I'm still a little iffy about it. I feel weird sometimes when I share stuff about myself now, and I feel like I was being informative, but at the same point, I'm like, I don't know. Did I say too many things? I don't know, but whatever. I try not to over-explain myself, but I do it anyway. Oh, that's what I was getting at with my tarot thing I did last week. I kind of already had that pre-done and ready to go, and I had 2 different videos I thought about posting. I still might post the one I was like sifting through prints of my art from last year, and I kind of explained some of the characters and like what the picture kind of meant when I drew it. I thought that would be fun. I have Reap What You Sow recorded, but I don't have any of the drawings done, so I can't post that. Because I think I reached a point where I don't have any of my old drawings anymore. Like, I have to draw all new ones. So, I feel like I can't focus on that right now. I feel like I'm like on the brink of like a creative burnout. Because all I've been doing is, artsy stuff. I've been preparing for Fandemonium, and I've made like 4 trash cans, and I don't know how many junk journals. Although these were just, basically I decorated the covers, and then I have the blank pages on the inside. But still, regardless, I bound like 12 journals together, and tell me why my binding is still shitty. Like, I've done so many of them, and I feel like when I have to do a task, one that I'm usually good at, and then I have to do it for something semi-important, I can't do it anymore, and the quality is just so shitty. Like, I feel like I shouldn't even be selling these, but whatever, people keep telling me to take them, so I'm trying to have the mentality of like, I'm going to take them, and if nobody buys them, then fine, whatever. Like, it is what it is. It doesn't change anything for me one way or another. Because again, most of it's made out of trash and like old papers I've accumulated over the years. Like, I did buy some like cheapo sketch paper to use for the blank junk journals, but even then, it's nothing fancy. So it's not like a huge loss if I don't sell a ton of stuff. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. That's what I've been working on top of all of my cleaning and now like my organizing stuff. It just never ends. I like recording in my closet, like when I do like Reap What You Sow, or if I ever do another Void Talk, I'm kind of not sure if I will. I feel like it's a little more personal if we have like a sort of face-to-face. Because like I said, well, if you watch my other stuff, which you probably haven't, what I wanted to do initially for this channel was just have like blank screen. Basically, I just like talk, kind of like a podcast, I guess, like just something you could listen to. But as I started recording and getting into stuff I like doing, and kind of getting into a groove of this is what I like to record, this is what I like to edit, this is what I'm going to put up, it's kind of changed. So I don't know how many more Void Talks I'll do, because the last Void Talk I did, no, that was my designing a character. So maybe I would. Like, if I'm drawing or something, that could be considered a Void Talk. Because, like, talking from the void was supposed to be me, like, I'm not actually there, like, you just hear my voice. So that's what that category is supposed to be. Anyway, I just wanted to come on briefly and, like, fill you in on what was going on and, like, kind of what I've been doing, I guess. I don't have, like, good content to share with you right now. Or, like, stuff I put a ton of time into. I just need to get all my shit together so I can, like, once it's done, I'll be able to breathe again. I'm like, okay, I can make junk journals again, or whatever, you know. But even then, I'm trying to decide exactly what I want to do. Because like I said, I feel like I'm gonna need to take a creative time off or something. But even as I say that, I have something elaborate planned for, like, Halloween decorating, so who knows, I might never stop. So one topic I had that I could talk about with you might be mildly interesting. If you like to read, which, when I was really young, I read often. Well, more than often, I think it consumed my life. I would just read all the time, like, that's all I would do. I would get lost in a story, and it was like watching movies to me, you know? And I don't know when I fell out of that. I think it was probably when I graduated high school, but I don't know why I stopped. I think it started to feel like something I shouldn't be doing because, you know, if you're sitting and reading, that's all you're doing. You're not accomplishing anything else. And so then it starts to feel like, you know, I'm kind of reading, but my mind's going, you have like 7 other things you need to be doing. And then I can't focus. I haven't read as much. I still like to read, though. Like, once I get into a book, like, I'm kind of hooked. To go into one of my favorite authors when I was a child, her name was Caroline B. Cooney. She wrote, like, they were kind of like thrillers, like psychological thrillers or kind of fantasy. They were very, I want to say weird, but, like, not in a negative way, just almost surreal in a sense. The one I'm remembering, first of all, was she had one called Freeze Tag, and there was some, like, mean girl from school, and it turned out she had, like, ice powers, and she would freeze her classmates and, like, hide them in her garage or something. And then my favorite was the trilogy she had called The Fog, The Snow, The Fire, and it was about, it's been a long time since I've read it, so this is me, like, I think this is what happened. I don't know if it was like a foster home or like this getaway beach house kind of thing. I just remember, like, these group of kids living in this house with these 2 adults, the foster parents, the people in charge, whoever they were, and, like, they would purposely drive kids insane or something. Like, they would just do weird crap that would make them, like, gaslighting them and making them think that they're crazy. And so the main character, I think she was like 14. She's got her own set of issues with her mom or something, and then, so maybe it wasn't foster care, maybe it was like a getaway house. But then she goes to this place, and, like, I guess I can't even think how to describe it, you know? Like, there's just something off in the atmosphere. Like, there's these 2 weird girls, and there's, like, stories about this one girl who went to an asylum, and they don't even know if she's still alive, and so she has to go talk to her to figure out, like, what's going on with the people in charge of this house. That one was interesting, and I don't remember the name of her vampire series, but that was, like, the first vampire book that, like, gave me a different perspective on how you could expand from, like, the norm, you know? Because vampire, you think, oh, they drink blood. Well, in her book, it was more like this girl made a wish to a vampire, and she had to give a victim to him, and instead of feeding on her blood, I think he, like, drank her emotions or like her personality. Like he swallowed it all up, so the girl was basically an empty husk. So that, I thought that was really cool. Caroline B. Cooney, if I remember correctly, I think she became a Christian, which is totally fine, but like her works have veered from like those cool psychological things to now she's kind of done, the first one I can think of is The Girl in the Milk Carton, which is, it's basically like, you know, a missing girl. She was kidnapped as a child, and so she's already accustomed to this family here. She sees her face on a milk carton one day, and she's like, oh hey, that was me as a kid, or whatever. And so then she contacts, I don't know why, she contacts the family who she was stolen from. She's like, hey, I'm doing fine, like, I'm in this new family and everything's good, like, you don't have to come looking for me. And you know, like, immediately they want their daughter back. And so she has to move, like, she goes from being an only child, being thrown into this other family, like the family she came from. It's like a small house, it's really crowded, and she hates it. That's basically all the book is about, is her hating that she's now with her original family. I don't know. Like, I sat there and I read all of it because it was intriguing, but I was also kind of like, this is so realistic. Like, I wanted fantasy because that was the Caroline B. Cooney I was used to. But I noticed, I think that's where all of her books have gone, theme-wise. Anyway, that long spiel out of the way, I recently read one by her. I don't know if this was before or after her Christian era, but I think it may be early 2000s when this book came out, Code Orange. Anyway, it had me pretty hooked, but I like stories about infectious diseases. Don't ask why. Like, diseases in general, they kind of fascinate me. That's what this book was about. Some 16-year-old, like this high schooler, and he has to write a report on smallpox. He like gets, like, his mom, I don't know if she's like a librarian or what. I just read it and I don't remember. She had these ancient books talking about smallpox, and he was flipping through it and he finds an envelope, and the envelope has like smallpox scabs in it, and he's like, oh, weird, and he accidentally crushes one and like breathes the dust in. And so the whole book is basically about him wondering, like, am I getting smallpox? Am I gonna die? While also trying to write this report and maintain his school life and his home life. And it gets pretty intense, because towards the end, I don't know if this is a good or bad thing, like, on the writer's part, you know, when you start skimming, but not because you don't like it, it's because you just want to know what happens. Because that's how I was feeling, because something happens to the main character. And so I'm like, what's going on? And so I'm like, what's happening? I'm like flipping the pages. I'm reading really fast. I'm like, I just want to know where this is going, like what's happening to him. That was the last fourth of the book or so. Like, I kind of speed read that because I just wanted to know what happened. Probably not great of me. I should take more time to read all this stuff. But I was impatient and just, again, wanted to know what happened. But regardless, I mean, I thought it was a good book. I thought it was really well written. Rereading her stuff just reminded me of her writing style, and it's hard to explain. She has a way of like giving a character a voice, which I know is like, you should just be able to do that as a writer. But there's something specific about her writing style that, like, you can just hear the tone of the character. Like, you can almost hear their voice, their speech, and I don't know, I just thought it was really cool. And the way she described the characters and how each interacted with one another, like, showing their different personality traits, basically. I don't know, I'm not explaining it well, but what I'm getting at is she's a very good author. I really like her writing style, and I'm thinking about rereading some of her old books again, because I still have the Fog, the Snow, the Fire. Those were, again, one of my favorites as a kid, and so I just kept them. Old stories like that just have a certain magic touch to them, and I don't know what it is. I wonder if it's just like not being afraid of criticisms as much, because I feel like nowadays it's so easy for people to like get online and just rip apart something you work really hard on, which, you know, you're allowed to critique and stuff, but even for me as a creator, it's kind of hard to like put myself out there because I'm like, I just did this because it's fun and because I like it, and I don't really need people coming on here and like telling me how terrible it is or whatever. It's not written just the way they would have written it, you know, like I do think people need to calm down just a little bit. But anyways, I feel like that's why older stories are just so intriguing. Yeah, anyways, that's about all I had. Just me rambling about books and catching up on what I'm doing. Very fun, I know. If not next week, the week after, I'm hoping to post Reap What You Sow, the next chapter. Because I do have most of my stuff done. So I could be working on some of the sketches for that. And maybe that's all I'll do, are sketches. We'll see. We'll see how I feel about it. I'll see you next week. I don't know what I'm gonna have for you. Just like I didn't know what I was gonna have for you this week. Look, it's a surprise video. I will see you next time. Bye.